Hi and welcome back to the channel. My name is Nicole with morningchores.com and today I'm going to give you an update on my indoor seedlings. We previously did a video on an introduction to indoor seeds. In fact, we have two videos, so I will link those in the description box below. This is just kind of an extension of that video. I wanted to share what I've been doing, how my plants have been doing, and give you some tips along the way. So I'm really excited to share what I've learned and what I've done, and hopefully it will make your growing experience much better. The first topic I'd like to discuss today is lighting. Lighting is so important when you're starting your seeds indoors. Seedlings need 14 to 16 hours of daylight per day, and where I live, we're definitely not getting that in a 24-hour period. So I do put them by a sunny window, and I originally had them in my living room, but unfortunately that window was not providing enough light. So I had to put them back by my sliding glass door back here, and it really has helped. But I also supplement with artificial lighting, and it really does make all the difference in the world, at least for me. I have found this time around that it's really important to keep your lights low, really close to the plants, not too close to where you could potentially burn them, but I do keep them rather close, and I find that that's really helped with keeping them more stunted in their growth so that they don't become leggy. Of course, we do want our plants to grow, but if you've ever experienced legginess in your seedlings, and this is where they grow really tall and spindly and they're very weak, we don't actually want this because it makes it harder for us to transplant them outdoors later in the season. So I cannot stress lighting is very, very important, and if you're not getting 14 to 16 hours of daylight per day, I would really encourage you to supplement with artificial lighting, and I'll link some lights in the description box below. The next topic I'd like to discuss is transplanting. This is another way to help your plants from becoming too leggy. And what I like to do is, I've actually already transplanted these once already, but once I start getting leaves on my tomato plants, for example, I will go ahead and transplant them so that all of this stem is below the soil, and it will actually help it strengthen. It will grow a larger root system, and then it will grow a stronger plant from the surface of the soil. So these are actually needing transplanted again. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do today. And I'm literally going to bury the plant under the soil all the way up to what we call the true leaves. These are the true tomato leaves that are beginning to emerge. So all that should be sticking out of the soil is these leaves at the top. So that's what I'm going to show you today. And this is just another great way to strengthen your plants so that they're really strong and they're ready to be hardened off to be planted outside. And the last item I'd like to discuss today is watering. I get a lot of questions about how much to water, how little to water, and really the key is you want the soil to be damp. You don't want it to be soggy or water laden, but you also don't want it to be dry. I have a couple here that are pretty dry and they needed watered, and I did that to show you in the video. But I like to water from underneath. I don't water so much from the top. I do with these bigger plants just because there's a lot more soil, but I like to actually pour my water into the bottom of the tray so that the roots are watered first. I also don't like putting a lot of water on the leaves just because it just opens the door for more potential of fungus or mold or other types of diseases to come into play. Not that that's really happened a lot to me, but it has happened in the past. So I try not to get my leaves wet. I try to put the water into the soil only. and that's really important. Some plants do like water or moisture on the leaves, but these particular plants that I have here are not really interested in that, so I don't need to worry about that. When you're using the artificial lighting, you do have to water a little more frequently. So I usually water once in the morning, and then I'll check them in the evening, and there are some evenings they need watered and there's other evenings they don't. I think it really also just depends on how much humidity is in the air. So if we have a really like wet, rainy, kind of damp day, I just find I don't need to water them as much, whereas like today is very dry, so I'll probably have to water them again this evening. So where do we go from here? It's really very simple. I'm basically just going to keep them indoors in the same location by my back door. I am beginning to wean them off their artificial light, so I have been cutting back about an hour a day, just because I need to start toughening them up so that they can handle the outdoor elements. And then probably by the end of April, I'll begin hardening them off, which I'll be doing a complete video on how to do that process. In fact, we already have a video and I will link that down below, but I'll probably just do another video just to reiterate the concept and show you how it's done. But as far as right now, this is pretty much it. Just making sure that they're watered and they're taken care of and they have enough light, and that's really it. So now we're just kind of in the wait and see process. Thank you for joining me in today's video. I hope you found it helpful. We would love for you to comment below, hit that subscribe button, and head over to morningchores.com where you'll find even more information on gardening, homesteading, and sustainable living. We hope you have a nice day, and we'll see you on the next one.